Rats belong in old creaky houses and cellars and attics and dorm rooms, not in the middle of the library. However, today is the day that all assumptions pertaining to the whereabouts of these medium-sized, long-tailed rodents can and should be thrown out the window. Miss Edna Elise Ekman, a girl of no more than 6 years of age, went to the library in search of a book. Not just any book, though. She wanted the best book, the biggest book, the book with the prettiest pictures. But as a stubborn and determined 6-year-old, she had insisted upon going to the bottom floor of the library all on her own, and painstakingly searched through an entire shelf of books before finally and carefully selecting the one. It was so big and heavy that she could barely lift it from the shelf, and once she did, Miss Edna Elise Ekman protectively wrapped her thin little girl arms around the beautiful book so tightly that she could feel the edges pressing into them. But as she did this, she heard a small noise of protest. Slowly, she set the big book on the ground and delicately flipped the cover open. Nestled in the tattered, ruined pages of the book was a mother rat curled around her offspring. Edna Elise Ekman screeched and scurried backwards. She stared at the rats, wide-eyed with anxiety, and likewise, they stared back at her. Seeing their fear, Edna Elise Ekman decided that the rats were not to be feared. She closed her eyes, and while intently listening to the rustles of paper that each rat's slightest movement caused, she slowly reached out her hand, hesitated, and then pet the rats. Well, Miss Edna Elise Ekman opened her eyes with a smile, because although the rats were weird little things, hairy and smelly and squirmy, she loved them just the same. Quickly, she reached into her back pocket and pulled out an Altoid and set it in the middle of the rat's nest, a treat for the ride home. Edna Elise Ekman then picked up the book, rats and all, and went to check it out. But when she got into bed that night and opened the book to pet the rats, all that was there was a single, untouched Altoid, pressed between the beautiful, untarnished illustrations of her beloved book.